House of Moth, welcome. First person of the night. Not going to be a very loud evening, I think, or morning. Take your pick. So once again, I have caught myself out by not cleaning my bench top before commencing these streams. Seems like a habit that I'm finding rather difficult to break. Yeah, well, I'm sure there's worse habits in life to have. Tim, Penov, Aaron, Paulo, Ed, Andre, Rodriguez, Kenny Dorman, Genevieve, Fossis, hello, and Joshua Patrick. No, I cannot go to bed. I have to get this done, because if I don't get this done, then I'm going to wake up maybe a little late, and then I'm going to have people hitting the doorbell, and I'm not going to have their things done. So it's easier for me to just sort of like grind through a little bit slower and get these things done now, so that when I do get woken up by them, it's already ready to go. And it's info. Andre Rodriguez. I already said hello. Alright. What's the first thing? First thing is this one here. We've got an iPhone 6s supposedly chewing up the batteries. Someone's really not happy with how long it's taken me to get this job done, even though it's been a day and a half. Anyway, I was told I had a couple of days on this one, but I do not apparently have a couple of days on this one. So let's switch over to desktop view. Overhead, there we go. Boots. Gold S. Who buys an iPhone 6s and gets it in gold? Everybody gets it in rose gold. A few litres of coffee would fix me right up, and it could do a few other things to me. Sweet Bridget, and they have not given me their passcode. Bloody brilliant. Okay, so I'm showing 59% here, and they supposedly are telling me that it's quite erratic. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just pop it open, have a look at the state of their battery. Who knows? Ooh, I can finally get rid of that. Though I'm not sure I'm happy about what I'm going to get rid of it with. Nice to see someone use the RES rather than the other horrible spelling of leaders. Okay, I'm going to say one thing. These are Weha pentalobe drivers, and I have to say I'm actually disappointed in them. I was expecting more from Weha. I was expecting something that genuinely felt quality. But these, yeah, they've got casting marks. The dipping on the tip there is sort of like a little bit iffy. The cap feels it just does not feel like $80 worth of drivers. Whereas if I say compare it to a wearer, the wearer just feels that much more professional. These feel like slightly cut above the cheap Chinese stuff that I get. I'm being picky, I guess, but I blame it on the fact that you spend a fair bit on these tools, and then you feel like they're just so-so. They're not great, just so-so. So sorry, Weha, but you didn't really get my tick of first impressions approval, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, they're better than the 20-cent one that I got there, but they're not 100 times better. Not even close. I'll use them, but and I guess what really threw me was the fact they come in this clear vinyl pouch. I mean, you pay that much for a set of these drivers. You kind of expect a nice little box or something, a little carry box like this sort of thing. Something you can just put on the bench, have them all set up nicely, and so they don't get all over the place. But no. Probably have to pay $100 more for those. Anyway, fundamentally, I'm just a little disappointed. I don't feel like the value factor is there for what I paid. Whereas with the rarer ones, I did feel like, why? Oh man, this. You ever get the feeling when some jobs are just going to be nightmares? Yeah, this is one of them. I don't think this has ever been opened, so if we're lucky, we do have indeed. Now what I'm fearing here is that I actually may crack this screen trying to get it off. And you think, that's ludicrous, Paul. Nobody cracks success screens. Well, there's first for everything. So what I'm going to do is get myself a nice, real sharp. Damn it, this blade on the other hand is not sharp. Okay, nice cutting edge. That just yeah, this is, if I'm lucky, this is just a case of, yep, the battery's old, and by gosh, it's a tight setup with this one. It's been a long time since I felt a success this tight. And the worst thing is, being an original Apple screen, I'm really gonna be in for a bit of strife. Sorry, I know I'm missing all the chats at the moment, but it's just because I'm focusing on not busting this. This takes me back to the first time I worked on a 6S. That sheer terror feeling. Yeah, it'd be nice. It would be nice if they did a better job on the spinning back end. I agree. Honestly, they just feel like cheap press-on caps, and it's like, yeah. Alright. Well, not very often you get to have the privilege, should I say, of opening up a pristine one. Okay. Definitely, the only trouble I have this Wero one is this Phillips driver is, of course, the fact that it's just too long for me. It's okay for larger screws, but for these little Apple iPhone screws, it can be a little bit long. Let me see what I've missed on chat. My apologies. Hey, Vivek Kumar. Hey, Ben Wilson's here. Oh yeah, wow. I read your comment, didn't read your name. Sorry about that. Hello, Moranis DeVilt. DeVitt, sorry. Hey, Greg M. Hey, Trevmar. Seferif. I'm presuming Seferif. Hey, Jellybean. And David Legault. Good to see you. Alright, well, let's sully up this poor iPhone and give it some colouring. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm already... It's only been about a month and a half, or not even that. A month, let's say, when I finished the previous large enclosure for the cats. And already, all that body mass that I put on, all the actual muscle mass, it's just washed away off me. And so when I was trying to dig up this new bit of the fencing, Was that back to square one again? Okay. Yeah, the Aussie Geek I am up late. Not really willingly, but as I was saying before, much rather just slowly grind through this with some good company in the small hours of the night than wake up to the chaos, that blind terror and running around trying to fix things when you're not even awake. It's like I much rather this particular option, because at least I have time on my side here. I can just slowly work at it. I've had a fair bit of water, so that should help me stay a bit awake. Caffeine at this point really doesn't do anything. If anything, it will make you more tired. But you'll be jittery, but you won't be any more awake. Whereas water, on the other hand, does seem to do a better job of keeping you awake. Okay, remember to hold the battery so it doesn't come flying out and smack your coworker in the face. This is a 2015, so yeah, it's 4 years old. I guess it has sort of come to the end of its life, but I'm not sure if I can strictly accuse it of being at fault, but the batteries can be a bit unpredictable like that. Okay, I'll just go get a 6S battery. Do I have a 6S battery? Do I have a box containing 6S things? Ah, hidden, that's what. Clean pull the battery. You don't get that too often. It seems like I'm down to my last battery there, so I best order another batch of them tomorrow. And before you freak out, I will take that off, but for now, for testing, I'm just going to throw it in like that and give me some sort of statistics that I can work from. So I'll charge it up and see how it behaves, and if I'm happy with it, then I will put it in properly. Whoa, just realised I haven't put the Taptic engine back in. I know it's not necessary, but I do prefer to have these things as proper as possible. By the way, if anyone ever gets feeling generous or whatever and thinks, hey, I'll send Paul a screen holder for his phone while he's doing the assemblies, don't bother. Nice thought, don't bother. I much prefer to use my hands. I find with those screen holders, it's all too easy to snag on something, and then the whole phone just goes flying off, and you cause more damage than what you were trying to save in the first place. So charge rate's a little low. This better show up as 70 or 80% charge, else I'm going to be a little bit concerned. See the autofocus is kicking around. 29%. That's a little ominous. With the battery pack, if you're only showing like 400, 500, that is a little ominous. Let's see. Hey Rodrigo, Ernest McCullum. That's strange. My camera control software didn't come up. Why don't I use XF? Because the heavyweights really, even XFC is. I much prefer just Fluxbox. More than happy with Fluxbox. No, I think I'm gonna probably say this person's phone has could have a bad tri-style. But that charge rate just really isn't good. I'll turn it off. See what happens. Mind you, I should be careful. Maybe my thingy jig is wrong. I'm just gonna. And this is a genuine Apple charge unit, charge brick. And it's genuine cable, so there's definitely no reason for it to not be pushing 2 amps. Well, certainly an amp. I'm just looking under the screen here. Okay, what do we got? Well, we're showing 2 amps on the other thing, so maybe there's actually a problem with that blue USB cable causing issues. 1.8, 1.9. Alright, we've got 2 amps now on this charge, so I'm gonna put it aside on the floor where I'll accidentally run over it with my chair and it'll go crunch and I'll cry and the customer will yell and I'll cry more. And then my wife will yell at me because I cried and I'll cry even more. Okay, we've got some more parts coming today. What do we got here? 201, 25 volt, 100 nanofarad. 0.1 microfarad. 201. What did I say? 25 volt was it? Or 35? 25. Okay. I need to put them in. I need to split my parts out now into a new box, and I need to find a new box. Kick the box, that's great. Mr. Hutton, thank you. Mr. Hutton, have you had any progress with regards to the unfortunate incident with your fur kitties? I sincerely hope you have. I understand if you haven't, but I really hope you have. It makes me rage thinking about that. No, God, I mean, for you it's even worse. 201 capacitor. 0201 cap. 0201 cap. Yeah, people are probably wondering, why am I drawing 0201 cap on every damn side of the box? That's because no matter which side I grab it on, other than maybe upside down, I want to be able to just look at the box and know exactly what I got. Any measurables between flux versus XFCE? I would say so, yes. Look, I mean, I haven't taken the time to measure or anything like that. It's not really the sort of thing I do. I essentially just, if it's working well enough for me, then that's what I care about. Now, the problem I had with XFCE when I tried it was, well, admittingly it was a long time ago. These were all 402s. It just had too many little quirks and demands. Whoa, I got 001, 005, 10 nanofarad, 63. That can go in there if the 201s. Okay, finally, 100 nanofarad, 16 volt. So slightly lower than what we got there. I'm just mostly accustomed to sorry, I'm looking at my different sizes here. Mostly accustomed to Fluxbox from, well, it's like 2 decades now. I work well enough with it, so I'm more than content to just carry on working with it. No, surprisingly, okay. There. Yeah, 402, 402, 402. Hey, Rob Brown. Just sorting out stuff here, Rob. Trying to do the right thing by myself in the future and actually have things sorted out. Okay. What do we got? You guys look like 402s. If you can see the end caps on the part, it's probably a 402. Well, that's my standard anyway. 10 nanofarad, 25 volt, 402. .470 nanofarad, 16 volt, 470. Ideally, the couple of minutes we just spent there will save me a lot more than that over time. But now I need a bigger shelving to hold the damn things. Alright. Inventory. What else have we got? 7 plus and an 8 plus. A white and a black. Refurbished screens. And the boxes I've got here, I've got a 6S, I've got a 6S plus box. And, oh, I've got a 7 plus box. Alright. Speaking of which, looks like I've picked up a 7 plus today. It's got some issues. It will just constantly reboot and whatnot, but I think it's actually just a bad screen because I've managed to fix it up to get the data off. Okay, this is an 8 plus, so unfortunately the 8 plus box is on the other side of the office, so I'm not going to get up and do that. So yeah, with the 7 plus, hopefully I can make use of it one way or another. I don't really have one for just general testing and diagnostics. Okay, so this 6S we feel like is it's still 1.2 amps and 32%, so that's pretty much tracking how it should. So I'd say bad battery was the fault, just simply through age, which is not a great surprise given that it's a 2015 2015 edition. Why can I not bring up my camera control? I'm trying to turn off autofocus because it's got to be driving you all insane. Marvelous. Seems like video for Linux 2 is missing. Very odd. App search video for Linux 2 CP. AK fix V4L utils. Apt install V4L utils. It's weird, I wouldn't have thought. I upgraded to 1910 the other night remotely, but video for Linux 2 tools, I would have thought it would have preserved them and brought them along. Have they changed the name? I hate it when they do that. App search V4L2 UCP. Alright. Is Lewis Rossman here? Oh my god. Why are you here, Lewis? Haven't you had enough success and fame already for one day with your defeating of Eli? No, definitely not. Well, if I'm the fastest typist, then we're doomed because I can barely do 50 words per minute. Lewis absolutely kicks my trash all around the world with his type racer. Don't you, Lewis? We had a challenge and he does his usual 120, 200 words per minute, and I was struggling to do my 60. Install from third-party repo. It's possible. Uh, as far as I know, it should just be a normal part of the Video for Linux 2 system. This is where I hate the damn open source people at times. They get their little ideas, they get their, how do you say, they get their I'm the boss hat on, and they make stupid decisions like this. Like, oh, let's remove the tools that everybody uses. I'm sure they have their reasons, but it'd be nice if they actually have it in a wrapper to get you over to the next set of tools. And so now what happens is I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm looking at here. You should be able to just go apt install or apt get the package you want, and it goes, here you go. Yeah, that's how it's meant to be. Isn't that what the package manager is supposed to help you get across with? Let's see. Lewis, why aren't you even at work? You should be working, making that money. Money. I mean, Ubuntu's been pretty good overall. They do seem to try and haul the developers over the coals for doing bollocks choices like that. Well, I can download it from SourceForge, so we'll do that. I'm not a big fan of SourceForge. It feels very, how could you say, I'm trying to think of the word. I wouldn't say dodgy, but there's a ton of scumware that comes with the downloads page on it. Let's see. CD downloads, tar, JXVF, v4. Vim readme. La. Make your build, CD build. One thing that absolutely enrages me with these packages, the software packages, is you go into the README, and let's see if I can bring it up, just so you can appreciate my rage here. Make sure I get the right window and don't expose myself to anything. That's always fun. Let's see, window capture. Create new. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Okay. Alright, so I don't know if you're laying in bed being assaulted by Clinton the cat, and as far as I know you're being assaulted by a virus too, or at least you're being rather altruistic and giving the virus a chance to live out its life using your resources without asking for anything back. So anyway, so you get this and it says to build this software invoke make dir build, cd build, cmake and all that. Why don't they just put it in a script? Why don't they just put it in a script? So here we go. So we go make dir build, cd build, cmake. Oh great! And this is why software sucks. This is why open source sucks sometimes. Because it's this last 5 to 1% of effort that needs to be put into the software to change it from being some random geek's project from the bottom basement of his parents' home to a working, usable project that people actually want to use and share. Just put the effort in. Make the difference. It only takes you one night and it changes everything for thousands of people who try to use it. Okay, in this case, it's me. I've got to install my Qt4 build system. Ah, crikey. App search Qt4 dev? Not sure. Let's see. Sudo apt install Qt4 dev tools lib Qt4 dev. Who knows if that's going to be enough? 171 megs. Retard spotted. Well, we got to show that. Well, I agree, Pernov. That's just the point, though. You know, what I mean, it is the least fun part. Although documentation, I think, is even worse. But it's in many ways it's the most important part. And I think if people are trying to say use open source as perhaps a platform for them to demonstrate their skills, then putting in that extra 1% can make all the difference. Oh man. Oh, now I need the yeah. Sudo apt install v4l2 dev. Maybe? Yes? No? Apt search? See, this is where it gets all crazy. But, yeah, now I'm going to fight the other way here. People go, so this is why Windows is much more popular. But the thing is, if you're doing development work in Windows, you have to go through half this trash anyway. So it's certainly not unique to Linux. libv4 libv4. This is what I get for updating my system. What? It's already the newest version. Brilliant. Lewis, you got black gloves. It's like karate belt stuff. You start out at clear gloves, which is like from the supermarket, those ones that are ill-fitting and crinkle, all that sort of stuff. That's when you don't know what you're doing. That's your no belt, your white belt situation. Then you do get your white gloves, and they're a little bit better. They're maybe latex or something. And then you get your blue belt, your blue gloves, and then when you get up to your level, you get your black gloves. And then when you're really good, you get to no gloves. MacOS Homebrew, yeah, that works, yep. I think I'm just going to have to give up for this. It seems... the joys, the pain. Trying to Google my way out of this one. And I should be fixing a phone for flip's sake. It's already the newest version. Okay, well, this could be a case of the software is just too damn old. Let's see if we can modify the source. No, that's not going to help me. Sorry guys, to put up with annoying autofocus ruining your night. I tried, and I'm just wasting my time. We'll blame Linux. Yes, JP. Well, I did manage to install the Qt build system, but then it seems this software is making an assumption somewhere, and the header's not available, so it's squawking. Let's see, what's the go with this one? Oh yes, rapidly discharges this one. So most likely we've probably got a Wi-Fi chip fault or something like that. Yeah, most probably, yeah. And then I sort of go maybe. Most probably Paul doesn't know what he's talking about. Most definitely Paul doesn't seem to have a magnetic pad available, even though he bought 10 sheets of the stuff. So that'll do. Okay, let's get that window out of the way. In fact, we'll just remove it all together. Alright. Mr. Nash is here. Mr. Nash. What are you doing up so late? Shouldn't you be in bed with your customers, consoling them? Making them understand that you can't control everything and that you can't help it if the madman from North Queensland hasn't delivered on the promised land of the holy working computer. Okay, so we've got a TriStar vote. It could be that. The battery's already been replaced, we can see that. It looks pretty clean otherwise. So just finished doing a little shop install for Square point of sale. Yeah. I don't know how you can maintain your sanity doing point of sale or account type stuff. It's people can offer me good money to do that sort of thing and I still run away. I did it for enough years in my life. It scarred me permanently. I think the problem with most accounting systems, shop systems, all that sort of stuff is that you never truly get to a final solution because every bit of progress you make or every advanced feature you make, let's say automatic ordering of inventory and things like that, leads to an even greater set of potential things that you need to develop to satisfy the shop's requirements. Because I go, oh well, now that you've done that, it makes us realize that we actually could really do with it doing this. And so you end up, I suppose you can actually consider it another way. You can sort of go, well, that's great because that actually leads you to an infinite supply of work. But it doesn't ever seem to quite go that way. It seems to be an infinite demand of incomplete work. Man, they put this battery in wonky. And they haven't got pull tabs, the bastards. Come on, in this day and age, you should have pull tabs. Stop using blimmin' Tessa tape or whatever they're using. Why does my nose always get itchy doing this? Maybe because I'm lying so much. Alright. Well, I guess we've got to see what's getting hot. I'm still thinking Wi-Fi. It's pretty damn common on the 6. To be fair, I do have a bit of an advantage in this situation, the fact that I've already managed to back up the data on this, so it gives me a lot more confidence that TriStar would actually be intact. Ooh, what's going on here? That one that was charging at 2 amps, it actually just stopped charging. Maybe it is a TriStar on this one. Yeah, dead. Oh no, jump back up now. 1.24. Alright, that one's been intermittent. So maybe it is TriStar. Great, that's going to go over so well with the person. God damn. Hey Cormac Piper. Hey Catherine. Yeah, the infinite help. That's the thing, the unlimited help. The never ending help. You set it up 20 years ago. You need to give us unlimited help. It wasn't even a voice over IP phone. Oh, wow. Burn. That's painful. Oh man, this thing's already discharged its battery. So you reckon I should dive in there, change the TriStar just for the hell of it? One client email problem fixed. Now waiting for out of town client with UEFI secure boot issue. Nope, you're good luck with that one. So many jobs I just sort of walk away from these days. This one charges at a perfectly good rate. I'd be curious to see if I plug my meter back into this, if it behaves better than the previous phone that we just looked at. Because that's showing 1.5. Come here, you piece of junk. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely being crippled. Probably because of my crappy USB 2 link. It's probably not negotiating a higher rate. But that said, I normally do see 1 amp, so I'm not sure what's going on. Do we simply have two phones with bad TriStars each? What have we got? Let's see, 718, 79. Let's see if my phone... It's okay, so like I'm 33% on mine. Man, have I got a dodgy cable or what? Well, that's just lame. Alright. I'm going around in circles. Welcome to what happens when Paul doesn't get enough sleep at night. Okay. I'm just going to plug full power into this. See what its current drain's like. See what gets warm. Take it from there. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Wi-Fi more than anything else. Ben seems fairly adamant that it's TriStar. What the hell's going on there? Actually, that was interesting. Turn you off. This is why it's fun to do these things at late night. Okay, straight off the bat, I've got 319 milliamp being drawn. So that's clearly something's very wrong there. It should not be drawing 319 when it's just been plugged in like that. You need to sleep too. Well, as I was saying before, The problem is, if I go to sleep now, what's going to happen is I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be groggier, and then I'm going to be in a time crunch, and there's always something that comes up in the morning that needs to be dealt with other than what I really need to get to, which is these jobs. So it's easier for me to deal with this now in the slightly groggy state, and at least then I can get some sleep. Yeah, it's not really a short because it boots. And 319 milliamp, that's not a short. It's something pretty warm, but it's definitely not a short. So I would... let's just finger around, feel for the hot spots. I think I might just take the board out. So 319, 4, so it's 1.2 odd watts. It's not a huge amount. I'm pretty sure I'm getting warmth up the top here. Yeah, let's take the board out. At least then we can use the nose test or the lip test, whatever you want to, whatever your personal favorite is. I don't care. Well, at this state of mind, I'm almost looking forward to it being a TriStar. If it is a TriStar, why not? Something exciting. Dum, 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 dum. As Mr. Rossman left the house. This one's a 6. The other one is a 6S. It was actually a good name, 6S, because it sounds like success. And someone has forgotten to bring their little SIM ejector pin. Shall put that safely in the customer's holding container. Would you look at that? Microscope switch is not running. Okay, now it's running. Marvellous, works straight off the bat. Yes, it is Thursday. Terry, quite right you are. I don't like to force these things too much. If they don't pop off straight away, sort of makes me a little worried. There we go. Just gotta find the spot. Just move my screw collection around so I've got enough room to put on this antenna stack. Alright, what else have I got to go? I think that's pretty much it. Yep. Yes, you are quite right. They are little snowflake connectors. At least they're not as bad as those MacBook Wi-Fi antennas. The ones that you basically look at them and they decide, no, we've had it. We're ending ourselves, and just let go of their of the actual connector crimp. Such a blimmin' heartbreaker, those things. Alright, let's connect up our power and start feeling around. May as well just jump it up to 4.2. The main reason being is that at 4.2 it might just give that a little bit more heat. Let us find it a bit quicker. Coax on the back of the 5S are the worst. Yep, and straight away we have a hotspot. Yeah, it's Wi-Fi. Pretty damn sure it's Wi-Fi. Let's do a confirmation test as opposed to confirmation bias. Oops, just splurted that everywhere. Yep, there we go. Right there. Now at this point I basically would say walk away. Can you replace it? Absolutely you can replace these, but yeah, I think I'll have to talk to the customer first. I could try. Has anyone actually had the fault in that particular spot? Because I know you can grind away the Wi-Fi chip, so it was around about there somewhere. No, you don't have to unbind these ones, thankfully. But yeah, I don't think the person's going to want to pay the money to get it done. I'll have to talk to them tomorrow. Because they gave me a funny look when I said, well, it's probably not the battery. That's when they gave me the funny look. And I was like, that look says you don't want to spend more money than 50 or 60 bucks if you can help it. Alright, where's the 6S? Yeah, I could scratch it back. Like I said, I'm not sure I really want to get into it, especially not at this hour of the night. I'll chat to the person, let them know, and we'll take it from there. Okay, I need my charger. I'm sticking my head around the place here at the moment, trying to find where my other current meter is. Ben, did you get a USB-C current meter yet? And did you get a genuine Apple USB charge brick? I hope you did. You'll go mad if you don't have one. Really, you'll go mad. You need to get one of them. Oh, there you are, you little SAB. Okay. What? I thought you had an Apple store across the road from you. Oh man, it's the same one as the other one. Alright, so... Oh man. I hate it when phones do that. Stupid wake to Wi-Fi, raise to wake crap. So this is chewing away nicely at 1.1 amps. We'll see how it goes. But I guess what I'm wondering is, like, what's the viewpoint of what could be causing it to simply drop to zero after a few minutes? It's like when the phone goes to sleep or something like that. No, when it truly goes to sleep, in the sense of, you know how after you power off, well, put the phone back to nothing on the screen, it sort of spends a few seconds afterwards doing housekeeping. But we'll see. It's 1.15, so it's holding out there. How is Micro? Micro is good. He is eating too much food now. That's a problem. He's going to get fat, and he's going to. The trouble is, when he eats more, it means his body needs more insulin, and yeah. So he's probably hitting the higher blood sugar levels at the moment, which I don't want. The B4 STL, breathtaking. Well, that's a bit of a different compliment. I'll take it. Of course, then again, terrifying things can be breathtaking too. You see a poltergeist, a ghost, a werewolf, take your breath away. Alright, Ben, sleep tight, don't let the bugs bite. Catch you later, alligator. Hello from Chile. Supposedly, for a long time I always thought it was pronounced child, but I was duly corrected that it's actually Chile. So I hope that is actually correct. Also, I've got some arguments to win back again. Why is there a condom on the phone? Yes, it's a Precision Pentalay 5-point Weha personal protection. Let's see, what am I going to do? I think I might have to go to bed soon. This has been a pretty damn useless stream. I suppose we changed the battery and well, we're still testing this battery, that's right. Still 1.15, 16. Maybe it's not. Yeah, no. This is what I do hate about testing with the batteries on iPhones, is it can take quite a few hours to get a true idea of whether it is that or something else. Cormax 11, the new tool drivers, that's right, yes. Union Repair offered them to me and said, do I want to try them on stream and things like that. I said, no thanks. It's like, I'm going to go get my wearer and I'm going to go get my Weha and I'll go from there. At least they offered. That was nice of them to offer. And I do buy a fair bit of stuff from Union Repair, but yeah, I'm not really into the whole taking of donation like that, because it's a paid placement type thing. I heard someone say that iPhone charging cables need to be genuine, not from Amazon. Is that a true statement? Same with the power adapter. I find if you are doing repair diagnostic work, then it is absolutely ideal to have genuine ones, because then at least you've ruled out a whole bunch of possible misleading situations. So yes, absolutely, if you're doing the repairs, definitely get them. And if you've just paid $1,000 for a phone, then yeah, I'll be getting genuine too. Do you have special diabetes food for Micro? How often do you feed him? Six smaller portions per day, better from or cook himself. Micro uses Lantus, which is a human insulin, and so, which is great, because there's nothing overly special about it. Everybody's got it. It's easy to get access to if we need to. Say we run out or smash a bottle. He already does have a lot of grazing meals. It's just that his grazing meals are fairly large in size. We feed him anything from a thing called what is it called? Something meow. anyway, it's a freeze-dried, complete meal, and you just add water to it, and it turns into a complete. And you can see it's made from all sorts of things, good things. Raw meow, that's it, raw meow. It costs an absolute fortune. It's about 80, 90 Australian dollars per bag, and it's not a very big bag. But, we pay the price, it's not a problem. And we also give him steak, such as porterhouse, Scotch fillet, rump, shin. We give him a variety. Obviously, you don't want to be giving him just steak because there's none of the other things that they need. Like, taurine, for example, you've got to give cats taurine because they don't generate for themselves, and if you don't give it to them, they'll go blind. Let's see. You can receive my motherboard MacBook Air 11 24 for repair. I can send you. It's probably not a good idea to be sending international, I'm afraid to say, particularly to where I am here. Where once it gets into Australia, it's usually not too bad. You have a pretty good chance it will get to me. But the bigger problem seems to be the return trip. I lost so much money in my previous business, which was the model aircraft, sending things to, like, similar areas. It was just too unpredictable, and even if you have tracking and insurance and all that, you still lost money. So I would say definitely don't send it. Maybe send it within the same continent, but certainly not intercontinental. Gadget reviews video. I was on Lantis for over a decade before moving to a pump. I didn't know cats could use this. Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting thing to see that Lantis was perfectly usable by cats, and I suppose it makes sense. But what is interesting with cats is that they can actually go into remission with the diabetes, so it's quite an unusual thing. But if you can keep them steady and their diet under control and things like that, then if the conditions are right, they'll revert back to being not needing insulin anymore. I'm not exactly sure what the indicators are that they are in remission, other than the fact that maybe if their blood sugar gets too low too often, and then you kind of be thinking, like, I think that what he might already be doing, it's proper handling of insulin again. Kitty cats are living large. Yeah, well, I don't even eat steak, really. Very rare. Catman Chris was talking about supplying coconut oil to the cats and marmalade. I've heard mixed stories about coconut oil. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, you get a lot of these people that will push a particular product and say, it's great and it covers so many things of the needs. But, I'm always a little bit wary of that. Mr. SDS Telecom, Jason's here. Oh, good, Jason's here. Everybody, if you don't know Jason from SDS Telecom, he's a very famous person from YouTube. Has some very impressive videos. Is good for a laugh. A good laugh, not laughing at him, but laughing with him. Very knowledgeable on iPhones. He loves his iPhone 10s. So if you do have iPhone 10 issues, and you're in the States, very much the guy to go to. The reason why I say that is because when you love repairing something, it makes the chance of your repair being successful that much more likely, as opposed to someone who hates and begrudges a particular job. Then they're more than likely not going to have that magic touch that makes the percentage of success go up. So check out Jason SDS channel, subscribe, like, all that sort of stuff. He's got some good comedy in there too. Jason likes his steak rare. How rare? Like blue rare? I don't know if that term is used universally, but here what we refer to as a blue steak is basically you take a rare steak, a uncooked steak, you seal it one side, seal it the other for about 30 seconds aside or something like that, and that's it. So basically it's just warm, bloody steak. So And it only works for particular types of steak, to be honest. I mean, if you gave me a rare, say, porterhouse or Scotch, it would be quite unpleasant. But a rare, what do you call it, ribeye, fillet, things like that, it works well for that. I don't really eat meat to that degree anymore. When I was in South Africa, I did a lot. Mooing. Oh, alright, okay, so basically wipe its butt and serve it up on the plate. Got it. Yep. Oh, anyway, what's our phone doing? Okay, we are now back at zero current. Okay, so Jason, since you've been unfortunate enough to participate in this channel, this is an iPhone 6S. It charges at a fairly normal rate, and then about 5 minutes into my yabbering, it suddenly just drops to zero. So, I've got a new battery in it. What do you reckon? TriStar? Something else? Magic? Fairies? Who knows? Does it try to escape your plate? Yeah. That's when you know you really got a rare meat. It tries to escape your plate. Uh, I'm sure I'll get to like these VHAR drivers more, but right now I am definitely on the disappointed side. I think if these sold for even 49 Australian dollars, or maybe 59, I could handle it. But 89, so come on, guys, you just ripped me big time there. I'm the fool for buying it, but yeah, I thought I was going to buy something that when you pick it up, it really felt the quality. But this, I'm not feeling. It's just sort of like an upgraded cheap Chinese, in my opinion. Jason has left the chat. Jerk. Yeah, he does use those cameras for finding the shorts. I need to get myself a short infrared camera at some point. I see that the benchtop one that Lewis uses, I was about to say Lewis loses, brain fart. That's only got about a 160 by 120 resolution, whereas the one that Jason's using, I think they got 320 by 240 or something like that. But so it's certainly double the density of dots. So wish they could serve maybe. Yeah, given the cost, I'd probably just make up my own little stand to hold a phone plus those plug-in cameras, so that you can have a steady point there. It's a Is it a software battery thing going on? I don't think so. It's no. It's this phone. If I press the power on button, it will come to life. It should. Yep, straight away to life, and straight away back to 1.3 amp. TCRS got a new one recently as well. Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, meter and the infrared, the same thing. Not sure I would go that route myself. I mean, he obviously wants to, and that's his money. He does what he wants, and I'm not putting down that choice at all. Personally, I would prefer to keep them as separate units. I'm not really into this whole mingling of functionality. Damn it, Jason's completely useless. Utterly useless. Jason, you're useless. I take back all the nice things I've ever said about you, which is probably just like the last 5 minutes, and that was it. Here I am thinking that you come to save the day, riding in on your scooper horse and make everything great for me, but no, instead you just abandoned me. Fantastic. Now I know how Lewis feels. Lantus, from a human perspective, is a slow-acting form of insulin, yes, which means it only needs to be administered once a day, if that. For micro, it's administered twice a day, every 12 hours. I was about to say every 24 hours. And it's certainly doing a good job. I mean, compared to, say, 5-6 weeks ago, he's a completely different cat again. He's back to how he should be, getting fat, which is, the vet's going to yell at us. She have a look at micro now, and she'll be like, says, this is how you got in this place in the first place. But it's actually not how micro got diabetes in the first place, at least not that I'm aware of. In my view, it's more micro suffered stress-related diabetes. Yep, Jason's just still laughing at me. What a jerk. Jason, you better hope nothing happens to your scooper gear now. Someone made a donation. I didn't even see that. I apologise. Let me go back. Oh, Paul Hutton. Right, I did actually notice that one. Yeah. Hey, fixing thing for you. Well, no one's given me a damn answer. I'm very disappointed. I mean, what is this? Like, I thought this was Please Bro. Yeah, I stream. You give me the Please Bro answers. It's curious that it happens after about 5 minutes. So I suppose we could pretty much say it's just not the sort of thing I'd expect out of TriStar. Gazman, good night. Well, I think I'll just wait till the morning then, and I'll send some abusive messages to Jason and Chris Long and Jessa. Actually, no, I won't send it to Jessa. Jessa will yell back at me, and that always makes me upset. Did you throw a tigress at it yet? No, Jason, I haven't done anything. I've just plugged this in, and yeah, this is my putting it in a bag of rice, and it's worked so far. You came along, yeah, I've attracted you to my stream with this, so now that you're here, you have to tell me what's wrong with it by not even looking at it. I mean, you got more than enough information. It's like, it's a white phone with a black screen. It's got a Weeha vinyl cover on the front. It's a genuine cable and genuine charger, and it dies after 5 minutes of charging, but the phone still works. What more do you want? Rehot the CPU. Brilliant suggestion. I saw Jessica got a Waterwell thing fixed up. I was trying to come up with some sort of witty remark about rehotting or something like that, but my brain was too slow, and yeah, it's all over. Could the chap in Geelong have some advice? He's the one. Yes, that would be Bill of A1 Mobiles. Yeah, he could do, but I don't like to pick his brains too often because he's already so helpful when I send my customer jobs down to him. He pointed me in the right direction with the iPhone 7 Plus that I was having dramas with the other night with the 4013 error. He told me to give it a shot with trying to update it without the screen, and that worked amazingly, and from there it was able to determine that the board itself is probably fine but the screen was dodgy. Apple will tell you to restore the iOS. Yeah. Alright, Terry, thank you for dropping in. I hope you have a good day at work. And I think I'm going to just drop off like a fat tick and go to bed, because Jason's not helping me. Lewis is not helping me. I should have a big cry fest here, create some drama on YouTube, get millions of subscribers, and invite Lewis and come visit me, then put him out in the shed and let him suffer with all the critters of Australia. HBM, good night, yeah, right. Alright, that's it. I'm leaving it. Even if it was a TriStar or Tigris or whatever, I'm in no position right now to rework this, but at least I can say, yes, there is a problem. It's not just the battery. Maybe you should just move to another phone. Stockham's Oscar. Yeah, it's the fun when you're, I mean, I imagine people like Jason and all the rest of them run into this a lot, where the better you become at something, the less help you do get from people. So, yeah, it's one of those downsides of becoming good at things. 46 on your YouTube channel, another 34 and you'll be able to... Yeah, what can you do at 100 subs these days? I don't know. I remember reaching 100 was an important milestone for me for some reason. Then 1000 let you get monetization. So, but I can't remember what the 100 was for. What does the DC power supply say? Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, finally someone actually said something useful. Why didn't I think of that? I'll tell you why I didn't think of that, because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll see what the DC power supply says and then leave it. Ridiculous that I didn't think of that. I should hand him my Apple certified Apple iOS certificate. I have been officially decertified. You can tell I'm tired because I'm just rambling like a lunatic. Turn you off. Turn you on. DC power supply. There's no current being drawn other than the one that is needed to supply these power bricks, which is about 10-11 milliamps. So there's no excessive drain going on. We'll try power it up and see if it has any drain. Oh, why aren't you powering up? You come off the board, that's why. Stupid, cheap, nasty, good for nothing crap connectors. Oh, first number I got was like 99. But I'm gonna double check that though. I need to get a power supply that. Actually, no, I just need to invent the device that I'm planning on inventing. By the way, if you do ever want a programmable power supply, don't get the cheap ones like the Tenma or pretty much 90% of the budget market, because they all use the same programming interface, and I have no idea why, but they use time as their delimiter. So instead of having like a line break or something and tell the power supply, I'm done now, do what I've requested you to do, it relies on a time delay. And also additionally, you can't query the meter without it locking out the front interface. So you can't even just say, what are you supplying in volts and current at the moment, because it will lock the interface. I can understand it locking the interface if you're trying to set the voltage or anything like that, but just querying it shouldn't be locking it. And the other thing is, if you're polling the power supply to get your graph, then while you're doing that, there's no way that you can do anything from the front interface, because every time you poll it, it locks the front face, and then you got to wait 2 or 3 seconds before it unlocks again. It's just an absolute joke. Yeah, I'll just try it again anyways. 50, 80, 105. How's that go for you? 50, 80, 105. Oops. And what's the resting voltage once booted up? And the boot sequence seems pretty normal. Jumps all around. Okay. Let's wait for it to settle down and see what the quiescent current is. Hey Cam, I see you having a grammar war with Lewis. Okay, it's taken a while to settle down actually. I'm still waiting for it, and it's jumping around 200, 150. Oh, here we go. Now it's finally going to, probably because it's just booted. It's down to 16, 26, 20. So you're basically between 16 and 30. And if you take away, oh, now it's jumped back up to 120, back down to 30. Remember to deduct 11 off all those figures for the octopus cable assembly. LED is probably what draws all that power. Yeah, mostly it's just pulsing between 5 milliamp effectively and 20 milliamp. Well, it doesn't have battery in it. Yeah, so it's like goes 520, 520, 520, 520, and then every now and then it'll jump up to 100, then back down to 520, 520. As in 5, then 20, not 520. And that's at 4.2 volts input, so it won't even be trying to do any charging. There. Shut this back down now. No, it's in 5 milliamp, not 50 milliamp. So yeah, when it's idling with the screen off, if you take away the 11 that the octopus is using, it'll just fundamentally it pretty much sits at 5 milliamp at least the whole time, which actually is a little bit high. But yeah, and then you'll see it about a quarter of the time pulse up to about 20 milliamp, and then maybe 10% of the time might jump up to 100. Does Micro have a wish list? Micro wishes to not have diabetes. That's pretty much it. Yep. I did some web things for him and it was late. There were a few typos. Ah, right. Oh, well. Mistakes like that tend to create memorable moments. Hey, Antonio. Alright. That's it. I'm leaving it at that. At least I can actually say there's something wrong with this phone. It's not the battery specifically at fault. And so I can I'll then offer and I'll say, look, well, I can do some exploratory surgery. And by exploratory surgery I mean I will mindlessly replace things and hope that it fixes it. And if it doesn't, then, well, nothing much you can do. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you everyone for sticking around with me in the late hours of the morning. 2 o'clock here in Australia, 2:08 on the eastern seaboard I should rather say, because there is another part of Australia which is called Western Australia and it's not that late for them. And I will maybe see you tomorrow, depends what jobs come in. If I end up doing these TriStars or Wi-Fi, then I will try and live stream those so you can all have a good laugh on my expense. So, yep. Alright. Take care. I'll see you next time.